No change among the front three, though it's now a 4-car battle for the lead. Meal, Bodine, McLaughlin, and Sprague. However, they call Bobby Hamilton the Little Bull because he's short of stature and stocky. Maybe now they'll call him the Raging Bull because he is driving like a man who's mad.
And he should be.
But not at Jamie McMurray.
No, not at Jamie McMurray, but this is just called, I've got the best race car here. There's 33 laps to go, and I know if I can get to the front, I can win this race. Nothing, no, definitely nothing against Jamie McMurray.
Now, what did that pass, though, do to the right front, and has that hurt the handling of that car?
Well, according to the stopwatch, it hasn't. So, if anything, he's driving like a man possessed, but otherwise that car looks like it's still working no matter how much that right front fender is damaged.
Jason Keller's car is back out there, but it's not Jason, it's Andy Santerre. Matt, what's up?
Well, Mike, I stopped Steve Addington, who's walking back to his pit, and I said, what's the story? He said, well, we retorqued the heads, put some liquid sealer in the engine cranked up. I said, well, what happened to Jason? Because, well, we all thought the engine had blown up, so Jason had already gotten to his rental car and is heading toward the airport. Andy Santerre was standing around waiting for the Busch North race to start in about an hour and a half. So they put him in the car just to try to earn some more car owner points.
Well, nice of Andy to help out.
But unfortunately, he's back in the garage area. Why would he go back out there? If he ran another 4 or 5 laps, he could gain 3 more points by passing Greg Biffle.
Well, last week, but for the mistake in setting up the fuel pickup, Bobby Hamilton might well have won Richmond. This week, but for the 2 mistakes on pit road, he might well have won here. But it's not over. 6 cars are knotted up for the lead with 26 laps to go, and young Hamilton is one of them in 5th place. Here he goes after Jack Sprague.
Jack Sprague, though, shuts the door on the bottom of the racetrack right now. What I've been watching, Jeff and I were looking all during the break, Bobby Hamilton Jr., he's not like a kamikaze pilot getting off in the corner, but that thing rolls to the middle, and he's able to pick that throttle up and go down the straightaway so good.
He really is, and this is right where, once again, the crew chief and the spotter need to coach him a little bit. He's got a lot of good race cars in front of him, and he needs to be careful to try to keep the nose on that car and not get caught up in somebody else's mistake.
Hamilton's 25, got past Randy LaJoie fairly easily, but now he's up against one of the best door slammers in NASCAR, Jack Sprague.
In that 24 car.
But he's got position once again, guys, so now if he can beat him down in that corner, this is where it's going to get interesting.
Slam.
Poor Randy LaJoie tried to go in there as deep as Bobby Hamilton and Jack Sprague did. He washed way up the racetrack in the 7 car. But one last time, Shane Mill leading this race in that 47 car. Just remember, we're at lap 177. A tip of the hat to Goodyear and to Shane Mill and to that race team. That's 100 and something laps on those left side tires. Remember, back on lap 131, he changed just right side tires versus most of the other leaders changing 4.
And look how competitive this race has become. 23 laps to go. Any one of 6 cars could win it. This is a far cry from the old configuration where Jeff Burton came here and led every single lap of a Winston Cup race.
Well, we've got ourselves a win of a race today, Mike. That's for sure.
Now, Jeff, where a difference could come with those 2 tires with 22 laps to go, it's fine out there by yourself. When he catches lap traffic, the car could not be able to be maneuvered as good 2 tires versus some of the cars with fresher left side tires.
Now, when he has to maybe move up to the outside and try to work around some of his lap traffic and he gets into it, it's going to be about another 5 or 6 laps he's going to have that issue. But again, it may not be that long because Todd Bodine's getting ready to put some more pressure on him as we're speaking right now.
Yeah, he went to work on Shane going down into turn 3, was right up against the bumper. And now we ride with McLaughlin, who sits in 3rd. Sprague right behind him, then Hamilton, then LaJoie, and Riggs a bit further back.
Bobby Hamilton was picking him off about 1 or 2 cars a lap. When he gets to the top 5, it gets a little tougher.
All right, we'll be back to finish this off as we come up on 20 laps to go. Any of 6 cars could win it. Meal, Bodine, McLaughlin, Sprague, Hamilton, LaJoie. Hard to believe here at Loudon, 16 laps to go, but Bobby Hamilton Jr., after coming from the back twice, has fought his way to 3rd. Here's how he got past Mike McLaughlin. McLaughlin battled with Todd Bodine and then got up high, and Hamilton underneath. A little trade of paint.
That's the old 8 tires is better than 4 routine right there as you go down in the corner.
They were turning back down and come off turn 2.
And now he's after Todd Bodine, and he slips underneath Bodine, entering turn 3, and goes after Shane Meal.
Got 15 laps to go, 14 laps this time by. I believe Shane's going to have his hands full now with Bobby Hamilton Jr. as good as that car can.
And one thing we've been noticing about Bobby Hamilton Jr., when he gets here, he gets it to bite up off the corner, and he gets position on Shane down the back straightaways. We enter turn 3.
The first restart, he was 36th in line. On the last one, he took the green flag 23rd in line, and he has fought his way to the lead. Despite 2 bad miscues on pit road, Bobby Hamilton Jr., as he was last Friday night, is in position to win.
He just needs to put as much distance as he can on those guys right now, not overdrive his race car, because there's several cars up in front of him, lap cars that he's going to catch. But you know, Shane Mill in second, regardless of the outcome, I think that kid has showed a lot today. He sat on the pole, he's led 61 laps. Quite a day for that young man.
A lot of poise. He's shown he'll be 21 or 22 next week. Got a birthday this month. 22. Now the lap traffic is double file in front of Hamilton.
Just need to show a little bit of patience right there, Mike, because his car, look here, plenty good to get off the corner and get by these guys. Just making it look easy. This car is really working well.
12 to go. Sprague against Meal.
You know, the best thing that Bobby Hamilton's got going for him right now, unless he is the caution, he won't be coming to pit road anymore.
Right.
Now, pretty much the crews are they're finished pitting because it's this close to the end. Plus, they've all used their 2 sets of tires.
Sprague got past Shade Meal. Ed Renzi, who owns that Marines team.
I don't think a lot know the background of Ed Renzi. He's one of the guys that brought McDonald's to Winston Cup racing. He won't even look.
But loved racing so much, he wanted his own race team.
Well, I think after last Saturday night, he knows it's not over until the checker flag drops.
And that'll happen in 10 laps.
Well, Fred Wanke, the crew chief, told me this morning those guys had the problem at Richmond on Friday night. They went back to the shop. They worked all day Saturday and Sunday, got ready for a test out at Lowe's Motor Speedway Monday and Tuesday. They've been about 3 or 4 weeks. See, this Busch Series, they're on a 14-week stretch right now without any off weeks. And these guys are working 7 days a week right now.
Hamilton Jr. trying to become Loudon's 16th different winner in 16 Busch Series races. Finished 3rd at Nashville, his career best. And started in the Slim Jim All-Pro Series in the Southern All-Stars. Had 5 top 5s in his first 6 ARCA races, and actually got to run some Winston Cup last season for the Morgan McClure team. And he's 9 laps away from what I think is one of the most tremendous comebacks we've seen, not just all season, but in the past several seasons.
He's pulled out to a 2.5 lead, as you said, Jeff. Unless he's the caution, unless he has a problem, pretty much he just needs to be smooth and hit his marks from here and be patient. He's still going to catch another lap car, too, as he runs the phone. I believe that's Jimmy Kitchens as they go through 3 and 4 in the 77 car.
If you're his crew chief or spotter, you're telling him right now to hold a pretty wheel. Don't worry about what's going on behind you. We'll keep them off of you. Hit your marks. Be smooth and be smart.
I mean, he just ran a 29.87. That's only 0.4 of a second slower than he qualified sitting on the outside pole. And that was passing a car.
And I might be telling him to slow down a little bit, too.
Todd Bodine alone in second. Jack Sprague safe in third. Fourth is the battle on the track. Shane Meal trying to hold off Mike McLaughlin and Randy LaJoy. Fourth, fifth, and sixth.
And I think what's happening, those tires, those left side tires on Shane Meal, 130-something laps, they're really starting to really take over now with Mike McLaughlin on 4 tires, Randy LaJoy on 4. But I still go along with the call those made. Jerry Kennan made that call. The kid led the race for a long time and was not out of it, you know, by no means.
No, I think he probably learned something. He's been about 10 laps of making that whole deal work the way he wanted it to. But he's starting to have a little bit of trouble keeping that car on the bottom like he wants.
Well, finishing fourth, nothing to be ashamed of. He got the pole here, second one, and right now looking for a 4th place finish. 5 to go for Bobby Hamilton Jr.
He's catching still a bunch of lap traffic that's just running quite a bit slower than his pace he's keeping right now. But he's pulled out to almost a 2-second lead over Todd Bodine.
definitely doesn't need to be pushing it when it comes to these lap cars. They seem like they're working with him quite well. Shane Hall pulls over and lets the 25 car go by.
He ran a 29.78 that time, passing 2 cars.
Taking no prisoners and taking no chances. 4 to go. Next Sunday, the Busch Series moves to Nazareth, Pennsylvania. You'll see that on FX. And then they come back to Lowe's Motor Speedway to finish off the month of May.
Ready to go.
It had to give Bobby quite a boost last Friday night to know that he had a car that, I hate to keep saying, but it's so true in racing so often, coulda, woulda, shoulda won that race.
I mean, that's the thing about our sport. Unlike a lot of sports, it's not over until that checkered flag waves. I mean, it don't matter how big of a lead you've had, how many laps you've led, it's not over until it's over. A lot of things can happen to these race cars.
But the best thing about last Saturday night or Friday night is the fact that this young man's confidence probably hit an all-time high. And he came here, and right now it looks like he's on the verge of putting the period on the fact that, hey, boys, I'm real.
2 to go. Remember at Talladega, in the July race, the Talladega 500, the Cup race, we had 14 races and 14 different faces in victory lane. But there's no longer active string than this one here at Loudon. I'm not sure what the longest in racing is, but this has got to be close.
White flag. Well, we're about a mile away from being 16 winners in 16 races. He could pretty much just ride behind these guys right here. I mean, he has a 2.5-second lead over Todd Bodine.
He climbed from the tail end of the field after a miscue on the first pit stop. He climbed from the tail end of the field, 23rd on the restart in line, all the way to the lead. He started outside pole, and in his 96th start, Bobby Hamilton Jr. is a Busch Series winner.
And the Marines have landed.
Yes, they have. And there's plenty of them here to help celebrate.
I'm telling you right now, that's the best thing about it, is they've got some actual members of the United States Marine Corps. You can see right there the jubilation that this thing is over with, guys. It's great to have the first victory.
He joined Scott Riggs as first-time winners in 2002. And he's the second first-time winner here at Loudon. Derek Cope in 1994 got his first Busch win at this speedway. 7th different winner this season. Well, Dick Berggren.
And the winning crew chief, Fred Wanke, 53 years old, 11 wins in the Truck Series. Finally, you got it.
Finally is right. I'll tell you what, we did everything we could do to take it away from Bobby. This race is his. He did it all himself. Tell you, the Marines Ford was such a good car, and it was such a good car last week. And then the Yates Power. I mean, the guys at the shop. I mean, you know.
What's this mean to you? After all these years, after all these races, this is the biggest. What does this moment mean?
This is awful big. I mean, I've tried for years and years to win a car race. Won a lot of truck races. Hadn't won a car race. You know, I was beginning to think I couldn't do it. But, you know, when you got Bobby Hamilton Jr., I'll tell you, the kid has gotten so good lately. And this is all him right here. You know, we tried to take it away from him, but he wouldn't let us.
Well, he's got a pretty good crew chief in Grandpa Fred Wanke. The crew is celebrating. The Marines are celebrating. And everybody here is just jumping up and down. It's a big, big day for Team Marines. Mike?
Thanks, Dick. Ed Renzi and his whole team will be in victory lane with Bobby Hamilton Jr., and we'll talk to him. Stephanie, his wife, running on down to victory lane here as Bobby Hamilton Jr. has won at Loudon.